Review it.
Who is it? Who is it?
Review the devil's candy.
No. No.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Jared Poirier, and welcome to my movie review show where I talk about movies. So this week we're reviewing a movie that I've wanted to talk about for a while. A pretty good horror movie that I watched recently called The Devil's Candy. Alright, so let me show you guys what we got going on today. Basically, I've got these two watches right here, and both of them are kind of busted in their own way. So I've got to go get these watches fixed, but you know, I also want to get this movie review shot. So I'm thinking, you know, get two birds stoned at once, and we'll get both done today. So yeah, basically I'm taking you guys to run some errands with me, and we're going to talk about this movie. But yeah, The Devil's Candy. This movie is all about the metal subculture. The dad and the kid in this movie are both really big into metal. You've got Marshall amps, flying V guitars, the whole thing. So in a way this movie was kind of made for me, but in another way, if they don't take on like the metal subculture in a way that's accurate and a way that represents those real fans, then this movie is going to be pretty disappointing. Another thing that this movie really needs to get right, obviously, are the horror elements. We're going to need some really spooky, supernatural stuff going on, and we're going to need some pretty compelling villains, and you know, some stuff that's actually going to scare us, actually going to creep us out. So let's see if this movie delivers. Alright, so normally I like to do these reviews in my MovieNerd shirt. This thing is like my battle armor. I know that when I'm wearing this shirt, I can do anything. I can talk about movies for days. I just feel so secure in my nerdiness. But for this particular review, I think that it's going to require something a little bit different, something a little bit more metal. So we're heading down to the storage locker. Alright, let's go. Alright, time for a shirt that's a bit more metal. Alright, we're down here in the parking garage. Pretty mildewy down here, pretty dark, pretty gray. Definitely a much more metal setting for this review. Oh, too much. I definitely don't need the hat. Now we're probably metal enough for this review. Alright, so this movie was directed by Sean Byrne, and it stars Ethan Embry, Sherry Appleby, Pruitt Taylor Vince, and Kiera Glasgow. And it follows the story of this metalhead painter and all the weird shit that starts to happen to him and his family after they move into a new house that's like possessed by some type of demonic entity. Alright, so let's start with the good stuff. This movie's pretty well directed. There's quite a bit of interesting cinematography here. This director clearly knows what he's doing, and the movie definitely has its own visual style. The acting's pretty good for the most part. Most of our main cast holds it down. The only actor that I really kind of have complaints about in this movie is Pruitt Taylor Vince. I didn't really think that his performance was that fantastic in this movie, to be honest. I really didn't find him that scary or that intimidating throughout the majority of this film. The soundtrack overall is pretty good, and it features music from the metal band Sun. Another thing that this movie did pretty well is how it presents the metal subculture. Some stuff is pretty obvious, like it's obvious that metalheads love flying V guitars and Marshall amps, but there's stuff like the reference of Metallica being basically easy listening for metalheads. So yeah, I think that they did us metalheads proud. Alright, so that should be enough praise in this movie. Now let's get into some of the negative shit. And the first thing is that the plot in this movie is actually pretty linear. There aren't too many surprises in the story here. Everything happens pretty much how you'd expect it to. And don't get me wrong, I sometimes think it's great when a horror movie is lean on plot in order to make more room for the visuals and the creation of a really creepy atmosphere. But in this case, I think that this movie really could have benefited from something of a twist or just more surprises in the story. And the other criticism that I would make is that I just didn't find this movie that scary. Maybe it's because I've seen a lot of horror movies, but there was nothing in this movie that really shocked me or horrified me. There was one scene near the end that actually made me feel a real sense of dread, but yeah, other than that, just not that scary a movie. And yeah, I didn't find our boy Pruitt Taylor Vince very scary in it either. Hello.
Hello.
So they don't sell that type of watch band there. Now my whole friggin' watch plan is kiboshed. Might just have to suck it up and buy a new one. What time is it? It's time to finish up this review. Alright, so all in all, I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. I thought that most of the acting was good, I thought that the music was good, and I did enjoy these characters. I also thought that this movie did a really good job of accurately portraying metal subculture. Unfortunately though, I didn't find this movie that scary, and I just didn't think that this movie had that many awesome scares, to be honest. But all in all, I did have a good time with this movie, and I would recommend checking it out, especially if you like horror movies or you like metal. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for this week. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys next time.
Alright, so we're doing the good YouTuber shout out. And this time we're shouting out Sean Chandler from Sean Chandler Talks About. Alright, so Sean Chandler has a really amazing movie review channel up on YouTube. This guy is absolutely killing it on YouTube, let me tell you. He has a shitload of subscribers. He puts out multiple videos every single week. This guy does movie reviews. He does ranking videos. He does some, personal videos where he just talks about his life and talks about his love of movies. Anyway, this guy is creating a lot of really great content, and I really recommend that you check him out. So go subscribe to Sean Chandler Talks About, and I'll see you guys next time.